We got somebody. What the fuck is that? What the fuck are those?
Quail.
Oh.
Hey, thank you for coming to check us out here today at New York Coturnix. Today we're going to be dispatching quail again. We're going to be doing another method. This method is known as cervical dislocation. This is where we're going to basically be beheading the quail without the blood and everything else. So stay tuned. We'll see how that's done. And with this method, again, you don't have to look at your bird right in the eyes. Going to go ahead and get your forefinger up under here, right up under the bird's neck. And you're going to get your thumb right there at the back of the bird's head. And you're basically going to get a firm grip, grab the beak, and pull straight up. Now their heads are really tiny, so it's hard not to roll it around right up under your thumb, so make sure you have a really firm grip. Otherwise it can get kind of awkward and maybe a little bit painful for the quail at the same time, so keep that in mind. I'm not thinking that this is one of my preferred methods of doing this, because right after I do it I'm going to have to cut their heads off anyway and process them all the same. But I am doing 8 right now at a time, so I decided I'd show you guys a new method as it was suggested to me by another Facebook group friend of mine. All right. So with cervical dislocation, we want to get a good grip right on the back of the head, right up under the neck. Make sure it doesn't slip. We're going to lift up from the beak just like this here. And that will pretty much do it immediately. Now, in all this, what I've learned is there's just a certain amount of pull. I mean, I felt around, there's a rhyme and a reason to it, but what I found more often than not, there's just a certain amount of pull that if you give that certain amount of pull just to where you're not pulling the head completely off, this works perfectly. Something like that. So you don't even have to pull the head completely off. And it's quick and painless. You know, I didn't have to do any special this finger there, that finger there. The head almost came off. You know, you get a little bit of the skin ripping, but as you can see, there's complete limpness right there and not blood everywhere. So again, if you're out in the field, you know, you're about to dress a bunch of birds, this may be the way to go. Again, there's going to be a few ways that this can be done depending on the person who's doing it. Now, again, this is not going to be my preferred way to do it. I prefer to just go ahead and pull their heads right off. You know, why have all the extra work? But again, this is a way that some people do prefer to do it. So I thought that I'd show you that. Also, we'll go ahead and process one of these bad boys really quick. And, you know, I'll show you how we do that. So one of the ones that we dispatched earlier, I'm gonna go ahead, grab the shears, and see, this is the extraneous part that I'm talking about right here. You're gonna have to get the shears anyway to finish cutting the head off. So why not just cut the head off? You know, again, not my preferred method, but figured I'd show you guys. I'm gonna cut my legs. Some of you know I prefer to cut it right below the knee. And then we're gonna split it right down the middle to expose the breast meat. Pull the legs out. The legs come out really easily. Get rid of those extra feathers. And then you just go right around the back, or at least that's how I prefer to do it. I'll go right around the back and pull the rest of the skin off. Come up the wings. Now there are a few other videos on my channel where I process birds. Those can be found in the links below. Also, you know, you can subscribe to the channel, and I'll likely be posting a couple of more methods in the future, so you can stay tuned for that in the future. But here we have the toughest feathers, you know, right on the butt end of the bird. Those, you know, are a pain to get out, but we're gonna deal with that. And again, getting this bird processed isn't that much work. These, this tail feather area is gonna be the biggest pain in the butt, literally. So we're going to get as much of that off as possible, and the rest of it's going to disappear in the spatchcocking process. Just like to clean it up as much as possible. Now this is the spatchcocking method that I use. I'm going to go ahead and take my shears. I'm going to make a cut right here and right here. So we're going to have snip, snip. Also, I'm going to cut these wings off right here, right at the joint where there is absolutely no meat left. I'm going to turn our bird around. I'm going to go up both sides of the spinal column, just like that with the scissors. And then we're going to reach in there and pull everything out. Then there we have everything, except for one lung didn't come out with everything else. But we could take this in the house and clean it off and have one ready for the ice. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these cleaned up, and I'll show you the finished product. All right, folks, and here we have our final product. Now this will sit on ice. As you can see, some of it has melted, but this will sit on ice for 4 to 8 hours inside of the refrigerator, and after that I'll take it out, give it a final rinse, put each one of these into a separate freezer bag, usually two to a freezer bag, the quart size, and then they'll go right into the freezer. All right, and thank you once again for coming to check us out here today at New York Coturnix. Again, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those below. Also, leave a like for the video and subscribe to the channel for more. Hit that notification bell too if you want to be notified anytime we leave a new video on the channel. I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you again from New York Coturnix.